people, BCHQ back with another fight night. UFC Fight Night 85, Mark Hunt versus Frank Mir. First up we got Leslie Smith versus Rin Nakai. Smith famous for her exploding ear at UFC 180. That pretty much happened because she didn't have her hands up high. She drops her hands a lot. She doesn't look very technical from the footage I've seen of her in other fights either. She has got a lot of heart, but I think that she needs to brush up on her techniques, especially in the stand-up. Rin Nakai, very powerful, and she's got a stocky build, especially for a female fighter. She likes to use arm bars, rear naked chokes. She's very powerful, explosive, quick, but she's just very she's kind of like a less skilled Chad Mendes, but like a woman version. That's how I see her. Be interested to see her. I haven't seen her before in terms of the UFC, but checking out other fight footage of her, she looks very good. I think that it could be quite a scrappy fight, but as I said, Leslie Smith seems quite amateurish to me at times, and I don't think she's going to have the skills to deal with Rin Nakai's explosiveness, and for that reason I'm going to give it a submission, round 1, Rin Nakai. Daniel Hooker versus Mark Edivar. I mean, I don't really know these two a lot. I wasn't overly impressed with either of them, so I don't have a lot of knowledge on these two. So I'm gonna go for Hooker, second round TKO or knockout. Next up, Ross Pearson versus Chadley Price. Pearson, a Muay Thai fighter in the stand-up. Good boxing skills as well. It's very quick, very flexible. He can throw high kicks at awkward angles. He lost his last fight, if I remember correctly. I think it was via decision. Laprise likes to use side mount a lot. He's got good ground and pound. He's quite comfortable on the mat. But I just think that Pearson overall is going to have too many skills, especially in the stand-up. I'm going to go for a KO or TKO in round 2 for Ross Pearson. Next up, Viscardi Andrade versus Richard Walsh. Walsh is a nice boxer. He's got good boxing skills. I think he's a former Ultimate Fighter contestant. So he's a good boxer. I think that he will pretty much be a favourite against anyone in the stand-ups. Viscardi Andrade, he's quite heavy-handed. He's an okay grappler. He looks more comfortable on the mat to me than in the stand-up. But yeah, I think Richard Walsh, I don't really know a lot about either of these guys either, but from what I've seen, I'm going to go for Richard Walsh, KO, TKO, first round. Next up, we got Brendan O'Reilly versus Alan Jubin. O'Reilly looked quite amateurish to me. I wasn't really impressed with his skill set that much. I think he's strong in top position when he's on the mat. He's an okay wrestler, grappler. He's got a bit of scramble ability. Jubin, it looks okay, but he's probably a bit more technical than O'Reilly. But I think that from what I've seen, I'm going to go Jubin for a TKO or KO in round 2. I just think that he's a bit more polished than O'Reilly overall. And finally, for part 1, we've got Seo Hee-Ham versus Beck Rawlings. Both very aggressive fighters. Beck Rawlings, I think, is more comfortable on the ground, especially in her guard and just on the mat in general. I think she's good in the stand-up as well. She can knock people out, and she's not afraid to slug it out with someone. Ham, I think she's very aggressive in the stand-up. I think that she will be stronger in the stand-up over Rawlings. So it depends where it goes. If it goes to the mat, I could see Rawlings winning, but I'm going to go for a Ham via decision. So that's it for part 1, guys, and make sure you go over to part 2, and I'll see you there.